Welcome to council time for Clark County, Washington. We are about ready to begin the session that follows our work session that was quite in depth on freight rail dependent uses. We go through council time and then we end with 3 or 4 executive sessions. Before we get underway on the agenda, Leslie or Kathleen, do you have amendments?
Yes, Chair. I would like to ask to amend the agenda to add 2 additional executive sessions, one for collective bargaining for 10 minutes and one for pending litigation for 10 minutes, and that has potential action.
May we clarify the pending litigation? Depending on when a person printed out their agenda, they may have gotten a little different list. Do we have 3 total potential litigations?
Chair Bowerman, this is Leslie Lopez. There
Yes.
is 1 potential litigation and 2 pending litigation, one with them with after action, possible after action.
Thank you. Are there any other amendments proposed?
No, thank you.
Public comment. This is for comment on agenda items only, and agenda items meaning the council time agenda that is before us. Are there any public comments?
No, we do not have anybody for public comment.
Okay, thank you. Is there a motion for approval of the minutes of May 10?
I move approval of the minutes.
Second.
Is there a second? Is there a second?
Seconded it.
Oh, thank you. Any changes, comments, anything you wish to discuss about the way in which it's recorded? Hearing none, the minutes stand approved as drafted. 2.2 is on the subject of council meetings. I'm going to turn this to Kathleen Otto.
Yes, so last week we talked a little bit about adding a couple more meetings for our Tuesday meetings. Adding the the 4th Tuesday during the day, and the 2nd Tuesday as a placeholder if needed. I will note a couple items. One, on the 2nd Tuesday, that is the time of echo. So if we need to, we can look at another date and time for that, or we can look at doing that Tuesday meeting later in the day.
So we were, and I lost track of it because of the sheriff's attendance, looking at an alternate time and date.
They were able to adjust their schedule to have somebody join ECHO.
Okay.
So I don't know, and CBTV is also covering both of those, and there's a 3rd meeting at that time as well. So and obviously we have 2 counselors on ECHO. So we can do it as a as-needed basis if we're going to need that Tuesday to reschedule, or we can work with the ECHO team members and see if we can find another date.
I'm sure Kristen's looking forward to that. It's a diverse group that's hard to schedule,
Yeah.
but we're kind
Or
of getting
council can do that Tuesday in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Or earlier in the morning. I don't know what time ECHO starts.
Chair, I would be flexible on the council meeting to accommodate the ECHO meeting continuing.
I was curious whether we considered having it in an evening.
You can certainly do that. We've always had, when they were having weekly meetings, it was 3 in the day and 1 at night.
I think that wasn't there an issue, Councilor Medved, with the sheriff's schedule for him attending?
Yeah, the sheriff, they were able to accommodate to ensure somebody was at ECHO.
Okay, and I know I'm on a couple of the committees with some of the respective mayors that show up to the ECHO meetings, so I have no idea what their schedules are like for the evenings.
So it sounds like keep Echo at the current schedule and then look at an alternative time during that day for the council meeting. Is there a preference between afternoon or evening?
Early afternoon.
1
Ditto.
o'clock?
What
So
time?
there's two things that I'd like to consider. One would be public involvement, and the other would be staff being, considered of staff time and resources. So just curious how those balance out.
Staff here is to support the council.
Yeah, and I'm good with the afternoon. That sounds best. And when we started eliminating, changing to the morning, no matter what you do, half the public will say, why'd you do that? I can't make it at that time. I could have made it at the other time. But I mean, we do the best we can. So I would favor the afternoon. I think he mentioned 1 o'clock.
So is what we're looking at definitely the first and third and second, actually, Tuesday. No, that's not right.
It would be
First-
the first, third, and fourth would be ongoing regular, and then the second Tuesday would be as needed if we need to have something, or if the third Tuesday agenda is getting too tight, or if we need a holdover, that we need have a placeholder. So we'll have it as a placeholder, and then we'll cancel it by Monday morning or Monday before 1 o'clock if the meeting is on Tuesday at 10 o'clock or 1 o'clock, so that the community will know that it's canceled.
This sounds good to me. I
So
think
would we
having
say
the additional
afternoon?
contact with in our meetings for covering the agenda in the depth that we wish to give it is so important, and this should allow it.
I'm happy with an afternoon meeting, and I think going forward, just knowing the scope of work that's ahead of us for the next couple of years, I'm glad we're doing this.
Okay, so I'm hearing the second Tuesday placeholder for 1 o'clock.
Second Tuesday. I think that would be fine.
Okay. And then the only other change or recommendation is your break times. And, obviously I say approximately, so if you're in the middle of a dialogue and you don't want to stop the dialogue because we need a break for food, washroom. So those are just approximate times for both meetings to have that check-in to make sure that, council and staff have a break. And the times were based on what council suggested last week.
I just have a comment on the evening meeting. We start at 6 o'clock and you have the break at 6:50.
Yeah, it's just consistent of like our day meetings. We start at 10, and did I do that wrong? Should it be 7:50?
It's yes.
Okay. It'll be 7:50. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're usually still okay at 6:50.
Council, if I may, I just want to bring something up as well regarding the days. The current code under 2.04 talks about council regular meeting days, and 2.04.030 talks about the hours designated. And I'll be frank, the code doesn't currently meet what the council's doing now. So my suggestion would be that the code be revised and then, set for public hearing to reflect what the council is wanting to do with their meetings.
And I would recommend that we're going to revise it to reflect what's in the rules of procedure, which gives council some flexibility, I think, as well. So we'll bring that forward. And we will also send this information out in a press release so that the community knows. I was going to say we're looking at starting this in June, if that works for council.
Just
I'd
out of
like the
curiosity.
council. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you, Chair. Just out of curiosity, are we hard scheduling these, Or do we still have the ability to say, oh, we only have 15 minutes left of meeting, let's just skip the break and move
Yeah.
forward? We still have that ability?
It's completely
Great.
optional. It's
Okay.
just the approximate time, and you guys can do a check-in just to see if you need a break.
Perfect. Thank you.
I'd like to hear what council thinks about a 25-minute break. That's pretty long, but I'm curious about your thoughts.
I think that's a bit
I-
long, Chair.
It is a
I
bit
do
long, but
too.
I think the thought was that it could be a lunch break if needed.
But we're not going to run down to the neighborhood hamburger joint, right? So we're probably going to grab what is in a little bag that we brought with us. And I'm not sure that we need 25 minutes. I mean, I think most of us might be good with 15 or 20 for lunch. For just a grab some water type of break, it's even shorter. So I think I would like to see it a 20-minute break max.
Brings back memories of the 10-minute mess hall, in and out. I forgot my lunch today, so 20 minutes won't work for me today, but I do intend to eat lunch, and I'm going to go to my
We know
favorite
you do, Counselor.
falafel place. So I'm okay with 20 minutes in the future, and hopefully I'll remember my lunch.
I would say I'm okay with, I think 20 minutes too. Shortening it is good, but I would always want to default to the longest period requested. So if there's a reason that somebody needs a little bit more time, even though they're the only counselor, I would prefer to default to that.
And, maybe an option is that we just say break at approximately this time, and then council decides at that time how much you need.
Yeah, I'm always in favor of like a good solid 30 minutes, so we don't gobble our food. It's not healthy. It induces stress and a shorter lifespan.
Is that a recommendation that you're putting forward? Are we good with just having approximate time start, or do you want to set the approximate duration?
I'd like to see it suggested that the approximate duration is 20 minutes so that the public gets a sense of how long these meetings might go. And that they need to bring their lunch too.
Sounds good.
Thank you for putting that together.
And we're okay with starting this in June? Yes? Okay. I haven't heard anything. So we will be putting out a press release probably later today or tomorrow so that the public knows. Thank you.
And next is item 2.3, the proclamation on the Peace Officers Memorial Day. I'm not sure if we're going to discuss that today
Yes.
as to reasons and so on. Okay.
Yes, so there was a proclamation that was reviewed by council and approved by council to be read, and the sheriff's office reached out with some suggested edits, as this proclamation really is dedicated to those who have lost their lives in the line of duty, law enforcement. They are having a memorial service tomorrow here at the PSC in the hearing room at 11 o'clock. And the updated proclamation includes just acknowledgement of Vancouver Police Officer Donald Sahota, who was killed in the line of duty, and Clark County Sheriff's Deputy Jeremy Brown. And so my ask is if council would consider approving this, and then a counselor, I think it's Counselor Belcott, that may be reading this proclamation tomorrow during that ceremony when the gathering is happening to recognize everybody who's lost their life in the line of duty.
I support that. Do we have additional support for that change?
You had two more thumbs up here,
Yes.
three,
thumbs up.
Yes.
maybe?
Great.
Three.
So
Four.
we are set on that.
And this event is on each counselor's calendar and the weekly calendar, so it's been published, so all counselors can come, just don't deliberate and have county discussions. And I know also Counselor Belcott is going to be joining a fundraiser on Saturday as well, and we also put that out on the public calendar in the event that we have more than 3 counselors that attend that as well.
Excellent.
Yes, come join us.
Okay, we're ready to move on to new business. Is there
No
any?
new business, not today, thank you.
How about counselor reports?
Chair, I have a few things to report on this week.
Okay, Counselor Young.
One was that I was able to take a tour again of the jail this week. I appreciate staff being willing to accommodate that, and happy to report that the jail is in considerably better shape than it was the last time I visited. So good to see some changes happening. I was also able to meet with a nonprofit here locally, CDM Caregivers. I encourage you guys to reach out to them and set up a time to tour their facility. They work with seniors in our area. They have an area where people can come to just congregate and socialize with each other, and they offer many other services to our seniors. It was a privilege to be able to tour their facility. Also got to stick my head in and learn more about the community court that has started. I know that Councilor Medvedji's spoken on that several times, but I got to see it in action a little bit. Excited about that and the benefits that it's going to bring to our community. And a few other things, but for the purpose of not rattling on, I will just end it there. Thank you.
Thank you. Other counselor reports? Work session
Just a
requests.
Brief
Whoops.
segue off of that last comment. We did very impromptu discuss the community court once again at Law and Justice, and the metrics that they're starting to see, great success. Getting people to court, getting them connected to services, and we're hoping to continue to expand it until we exceed our capacity. But yeah, so thanks for mentioning it. It delivering as promised. So, and it's just brand new.
Yes, and if I may add too, it's like to what you said, it was incredible to walk in there and see an L-shaped table filled with providers that are ready to do whatever it is that that individual needs. So exciting stuff.
Are there work session requests?
None today.
Any policy issues to discuss?
Yes, I'm going to ask the Amber to give a brief update on Camp Bonneville.
Thank you, Kathleen. So we had a request from Deputy Director Wills with the CJTC, so the Southwest Regional Training Academy. I'm going to be giving him a tour of Camp Bonneville's range on the 25th as a possible site for the firearms portion of the expansion of the Satellite Academy. So I'm working with Sheriff Porch on that, and we'll be doing that on the 25th. So I wanted to give that quick update to council.
Very
Chair, I
good.
have a question regarding that. Is that going to be in person, Amber?
Yes, it is, Councilor Belcott.
Okay, I'm interested in going along if allowed.
I will contact you as soon as I hear back from his assistant, and I'll get you the time.
Thank you, ma'am.
Any other policy issues?
Not today, thank you.
Okay. So we're ready to tackle the executive sessions. Let's see, 10, 20, 35 minutes total. Is that correct?
45 minutes.
I have missed the third new one. Okay, so 45 minutes. Thank you. So we will recess for that purpose and to examine or to meet on these executive sessions two involving pending litigation, one involving potential litigation, and then a collective bargaining agreement, with one possible after action. So the council will come back. Let's see, it's 11:34. That would be what time?
12:20.
12:20?
12:20.
Does that give us time to get in and
Yes.
out of the sessions? Okay, great. So 12:20, we will see you back here at this link in council time.
The chair has asked us to extend executive session for an additional 15 minutes, and the council will now reconvene at 12:35. Thank you. The chair has asked us to announce that their executive session will be extended an additional 5 minutes, and the council will now reconvene at 12:40. Thank you.
We are back at council time on Wednesday, May 17, Clark County Council, Washington, having been in several executive sessions, one of which needs after action. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I do make a motion to grant Sheriff John Horsch and Prosecuting Attorney Tony Golick's request for the county to provide a defense and indemnification in the lawsuit entitled Lawrence Hartford et al. Versus Bob Ferguson et al. Pursuant to Clark County Code 2.97.025.
I'll second that motion. It is well seconded, right? Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, nay. It is unanimously passed, and we thank you for that. That concludes the council time for today, and we wish you well, and hope that to see you at the Veterans Program tomorrow. And meanwhile, have a cool day. It's pretty warm out there. So
We are adjourned, right?
thank you. Bye-bye.